Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Very excited to have Brian and Lisa on the channel today. They're going to give us a tour of their 2023 living vehicle travel trailer. So join us.
Brian and Lisa, welcome to our 2023 living vehicle. We went with a living vehicle because we're doing a lot of research. We've got a boat, so we like that technical type of vehicle. It's got to be something out there that's a little cooler, a little nicer, a little more custom. Sure enough, we found a little company out of Santa Barbara, California called Living Vehicle, and Matthew and Joanna Hoffman are the owners of that. And Matthew has about 400 retrofits of an Airstream. We started looking at their videos, really cool stuff, and we decided, you know what, let's jump on an airplane and go out and see this guy. And it was very cool. So we decided that
we wanted to go down this route.
We wanted to go down this road. And some of the features that push our button. It's a little heavy. It's on a 14,500 pound empty side of it. So if you can get over the trailering aspect of it, which I think we can, it's an amazing vehicle. There's not a piece of wood in it other than some trim pieces. So from the rotting perspective, you're not going to have any of that. The quality of it is off the charts, and I think you'll see that in this video, that it's unmatched quality. The innovation is happening all the time. There's no two units that are the same. It couldn't be any more high tech than this as well, which maybe I'm a little bit of a techie, and we're going to have some cool uses with it. So I know everybody wants to probably see the inside of this vehicle, but the outside's pretty cool as well. There's a lot of features, like the drop-down deck. From the time you plug into it on the side, it comes down electronically. Takes maybe a minute and a half to drop down and set the whole thing up. It's one of the coolest features. There's an 8-foot patio door with it, which from the inside you'll see later that it just adds a tremendous amount of light in the unit.
Yeah, creates outdoor, indoor living space, which we love.
What I found that I like a lot about this, which is better than even my previous Airstream, is the fact that you use the inside of this trailer. Where what I found in my Airstream, we do more outside. So we set up the tables, we eat outside. We cook outside. This unit, you really do a lot inside, and you'll see that. Having a drop-down deck like this that gets set up so easy, in like a minute and a half, you use this quite a bit. So if you notice, the doorway is a little bit higher than most, and that's pretty innovative in itself because all the mechanicals, the water tanks, the electrical, the batteries, the pumps and everything are below the subfloor. And I know that's the case in most trailers, but in this particular case, it's also heated and air conditioned under there. So it's conditioned space, which is really nice. So we're going to use ours skiing. So we'll take it out and maybe we'll get 10 inches of snow while we're up there and get lucky, but we'll use this thing for skiing in winter in 10 degrees and in 90 degrees. And that's what we like with the whole insulated shell, double pane windows. So that's why that door comes up pretty high. And this staircase is as solid as it gets. Flips up, folds right inside. Also, there's a Ring doorbell on here. It's tied up to the cellular system within the unit. So if somebody pushes the button and I'm in New Jersey and the unit is in New York, my phone's gonna ring. If you look at the finish, very similar to an Airstream, it has an anodized aluminum finish on the outside. So that is pretty much gonna last a lifetime. Even in some of the storage areas, the doors are very thick. They're insulated doors. There's a double seal on them, so you're really keeping the weather out. You can hear the fans running in there now, an air-conditioned space. It's carpeted, so it's really being inside the trailer itself. It's not an outside compartment at all. One of the options that goes with the off-road package, if you can take a 14,000 pound trailer off-road, is this type of finish, which is very durable from rocks and any type of debris coming up and hitting it. I put it on there for the cool looking factor. We have one trip a year that we take really off-road, but it comes with the big tires. You can venture in some pretty remote places. There's also a ton of solar up there. There's a solar awning that comes out that doubles the solar, and there's enough solar panels on this unit to keep everything running indefinitely off the grid. So there's a washer and dryer and heat and everything else without being plugged in. Air conditioning units, everything runs off the battery system in this unit. So it doesn't require to be plugged in if you don't want to be plugged in. So go anywhere you want with it. Yeah, as you move around, there's the stabilizer jacks. Each one of them lift about 12,000 pounds. So that all works out of here. There's also an app that works out. So for any of the tech people out there, it's pretty interesting. They're more than capable enough to hold this trailer up. Even if you look down here, we're not even on the tongue at this particular point. We have a water system in here, so as the water comes out of the tank, it goes through a 3-stage filter system into the showers, into the sinks. We hooked a camera system up to our truck, which comes, it's one of the packages that come with this, so it's hardwired directly into the trailer as well as into the tow vehicle, where there are 4 cameras. There's one on the hitch. There are 1 on each side, on the left and the right side, and then of course there's 1 in the rear. It's a 205 16th ball. It's a real heavy-duty electric jack, as well as a hydraulic over electronic brake system here, which the battery for it's right here. That's getting charged off of a charger inside, and if that doesn't work for you, they also supply another solar. If all that solar doesn't work, there's another solar that can charge that as well. There's compartments galore. This particular compartment is also set up that if you want to put a propane generator in here. We don't see the need with it with all the amount of solar that's on this, so we opted to use it for storage and to keep tools and everything else. If you have the generator in here, it is vented, so it's able to pull out any of the air from out here. We added an external propane connection point here because our generator has a propane option on it, and we keep it on the tow vehicle. We have 80 pounds of propane on board, so I'd rather plug right into that and pull from here. Rock guards that are all CNC cut. This is, again, just able to access the space from the same space. It's all the way through the trailer. So a lot of space down there. So if you look underneath the trailer, the entire trailer is all aluminum construction. There is a little bit of steel when you get towards the axles down there, but all aluminum. There's even the subfloor is tongue and groove aluminum. So it's not going anywhere. It's not going to rust, and it's really strong. The hot water heater, it can be serviced from outside. It's also a super high-end hot water heater that works. Another cool feature that I like is all the, what I would call the mechanical section, is also behind an insulated door. So it's all heated in here. So any water connections, even in the wintertime, are coming up. There's a hole down here, so anything is coming up through this right here, so you can get to all your different connections and service areas. Right down below is also storage for your sewer pipe, as well as your connection point right here for your pump outs. There's power. Obviously there's 50 amp power here as well. And there's also, which is cranking away right now, is a furnace. So from a heating perspective, there are essentially 3 modes of heat here. The AC units do have heat strips in them. That's one which I guess you would use on a 60-degree day if you want to heat it off. But there is propane heat as well as electric heat throughout the trailer. So on a 0-degree day, we can keep the trailer at temperature. One of the things is the frameless windows. We really like the look from, that was an upgrade I guess they did in 2020. It's a pretty sharp look, and I think it just makes the trailer look slick. Also, the propane compartment is tucked away really nice. So the units stay clean. There is
Easy access.
easy access. There are 2 units that are active, as well as a couple spares right behind it. Pretty nice. This is also another complete pass-through. So you got a tremendous amount of storage in here, which in here we're keeping umbrellas and any type of toys you want to put in here. There's also an outlet in here for if you have an electric car, you can plug a charger in there, and there's enough power coming off the roof to charge a Tesla. If we're taking it off-road, you see there's a pretty cool angle on here, so as you're going up, you don't bottom out. There's also a removable bumper on the back there, so if you really got in one of those situations where you're going to have a close clearance, you can pull the pins on that and pull that bumper off. Integrated lights in the back, all LED, and this is your reverse lights as well as your brake lights and your turn indicators. It's also the lighting for when you get to campsite and it's 9 o'clock at night. These lights also have a built-in light so it can illuminate the whole trailer area, which is really convenient and helpful. There's a hitch here. That receiver will hold about 500 pounds, so for bike racks and different things like that, you can plug into that. We have a full spare that's locked on here as well. As you continue to move around, this is the opposite side of that pass-through. which goes all the way through. We've got the shower on board here, which can come up here, and it's hot and cold. What is nice about the setup is we have power right here, we have propane right here, and there's an island that comes out onto the deck that you can put your grill. You can grill right here, which will plug directly into the propane tanks. And if you don't want to grill and you want to make margaritas, frozen margaritas, we got the power right here to plug in the blenders. So one of the key features on this unit that makes it being able to stay off the grid indefinitely is the solar panels. You can see there's a rack system up there, and that rack system has 2 motors on it that pulls that. Essentially, they call it a solar awning that comes at about 3 feet. That solar awning, when it expands out to that 3-foot expansion, pretty much doubles the solar that's up on the roof. So everything for the unit is operated right here. The energy system is here. Most of the thermostats are here, as well as some switches very similar to a boat would be right here. The solar array up on the roof is all operated through this unit here as far as allowing the power into the batteries and things like that. So now that the panels are totally out, I believe the unit has something like 3,400 watts of solar on there.
Can't wait to show you the inside now. Let's start over in the dining area. You have your L-shaped couch, table, windows, and we have a TV over here. The table will drop down. You can pull out this whole cushion area, and the cushions fold down, and this becomes a bed.
Very similar to the way the slide out for the propane. It's actually the same mechanism. So you just pop the button and the whole thing slides out, and you push the cushions down right behind it, and the table stores underneath.
Yeah. We also wanted to add an additional loft space because sometimes when you're having another person, you don't want to break down everything. It's nice if you can just have the bed go back up, not even have to make it. It's gone, and you still have your table set up, and you don't have to totally reorganize your whole place for just sleeping purposes. But you can show them how.
So we have twin boys. They don't like making their beds. So this tends to, you can unmake the bed and leave it unmade. If it comes down, it goes up pretty quick. It's a queen size. There's a ladder and a guard up here that is right in here. It's slotted so the mattresses vent really well. And don't make your bed, pull the pillows off and put it away. It's perfect if you've got teenage boys. One of the great things of this particular unit is, you know, all the finishes, whether it's the ceiling, the walls, or even the cabinetry, it's all aluminum. So it's not going to rust, it's not going to rot, it's not going to, you're not going to have a mouse chew through it. There is really no wood other than accent type of wood that would be on here. It's very easy to clean, there's really no maintenance to it, and it should last forever. We added a privacy curtain. We tend to travel with a crew, whether it's our boys or friends or whatever. The only thing we really added to this unit was a propane connection outside and a track here so that we could add some privacy. You can still come out and get a cup of coffee and they're sleeping. As far as heat goes, there's electric heat in the ceiling. There's a propane furnace that's throwing heat out on the floor in here. In the bathroom and the bedroom, there's some electric baseboard that heats the rest of this unit as well.
This island, nice space that it adds to your kitchen. You know, sometimes just one single area is not enough, and it's a nice place to, you know, prepare your food and whatnot. What's neat about this island is there are 4 pins at the bottom you can easily twist off, and this whole island can be relocated out onto your deck, which is a really neat feature.
Underneath the floor, underneath this island, there's a track that's running around this floor that if you lift up is really the brains to this whole unit. I think there's like 10 batteries and there's 20,000 watts of inversion down there, inverters. So it's pretty cool, and I think we'll get the floor up later. You can see some pictures of that as well.
I do like to cook when we are out, not just grilling outside, but inside. If it didn't have it, I would be buying a toaster oven, but this 3-burner Dometic oven, really beautiful, nice finish. It has the fan up here, microwave, really nice cabinetry, double locking system, so it's probably not going to come open whenever you are moving it. I also have a dishwasher down here. It actually is very green. It does use less water than if I think it holds like a 6-place setting fully, And so it uses less than 2 gallons of water.
One of the cool things here as well is there's a lot of storage. So if you look at it, there's a tremendous amount of storage. And even open up the one underneath there. I mean, we got lots of drawers. You know, so besides the island, open up the
really nice slide-out pantry with adjustable shelving. Really nice quality. Really heavy, solid.
garbage can.
And pull out the garbage can.
Yep. So on the outside, when we were showing the outside, you saw that there was filters system. So as the water comes out of the tank, it's fully filtered coming into the unit. You have an instant hot as well as another unit for water, because there is also, even after all that filtration, it's winterized right now, but there's another filter system in here, which this filter system manages your drinking water here, as well as there's an ice maker up in the freezer that is producing ice. So
really a full-size fridge in this. You can take a lot of food, produce.
The unit's fully air conditioned. The air conditioning system is ducted throughout the unit, but as well as this is, I guess, more of a high capacity that you're able to direct and direct from the unit, air condition this space. There's 2 units. There's another one handling the bedroom and the bathroom as well. From here, one of the cool things that I like about the living vehicle is the fact that and I mentioned it earlier, but in my Airstream, you don't really cook in it, and then you kind of move everything outside. You've got your grills outside. You probably got your burners outside, even though there's a couple of burners inside. You're using that. Here, everything is right with you. So if you're grilling, you're cooking here. Maybe you're cooking here, and then you're walking right out to a spot, or you're grilling, or you're serving dinner, which is a nice spot to do that. There's holders for umbrellas. You can probably seat 4 people up here, no problem. There is a track that goes down here that we didn't put in yet, so it's not really a trip hazard. There's a nice piece here. And then this, of course, snaps back. So if you have a pet or anything, they're not going over the side.
This trailer has beautiful faux wood vinyl flooring throughout. Very easy to clean. And how do you clean it? This vehicle comes with a central vac, which the storage for it, we store the hoses and nozzles down there, and the receptacle where you do is right here. Very easy, and it reaches to both ends of the trailer. You'll see this beautiful door, slides, barn door mechanism slides to cover the bathroom, but come on down to the bedroom. Here we have the bedroom, queen bed. Notice the skylight, washer, dryer here. The bed in here also lifts up to show, to have a ton of storage underneath. You can put bedding, food, I don't know, anything. It's a lot of space, which I will fill up easily. And that's easily accessible, just 1 pin on the side here. The drawers, you'll note, really come far out and are pretty deep. This is my closet, which slides, and there is a safe inside here as well, and some shelving up top.
In the ceiling, you'll see vents, multiple vents. One is directly over the AC unit, where we're going to get our air conditioning from, and the AC units is also pumped through the vent system within the trailer. So you can get a direct shot from there, as well as I believe the vents here are pumped to the other units. So you can run on one unit, you can run on both units, and it will do the whole room. As far as heating is concerned, we have baseboard heating down below, which is great right in front of the window, because it throws that wall of heat up on those cold days. And this thing is good down to under 10 degrees or 0 degrees. Thermostats are right here on the wall. Even our lighting switches here are very residential home type of switches. Well, everything in the unit is dimmable. There's a Sonos speaker system that runs throughout it. One of the speakers is here in the bedroom. There's a Wi-Fi system that runs for this whole entire unit. There's a Wi-Fi booster that's installed through the unit that is mounted up on the roof. And with the Wi-Fi unit here, it is also cell enabled. So if you have a cell card, you can stick in there, and then the unit is constantly on the internet. And that's good, because those camera systems that were outside also have a DVR built in inside. So at any point, if you're not with your unit, you can log into the DVR system and check the video out, and you can see all four sides of the unit, as well as the fifth camera, which is the Ring doorbell system outside. You walk from here, you've got the main control panel, which we showed you earlier before, but essentially everything is centralized right here between the whole electrical system and energy system, as well as all the fuses. A couple of other things. From a tank perspective, it holds 100 gallons of water. I believe there is about 60 gallons of gray and 40 gallons of black, in that range. Also, the trailer, the box, the inside dimension of the box is about 8 feet, I believe, 8.5 on the exterior side. The overall length of the box is 29 feet, and I think the overall from the hitch to the spare tire in the back is about 31 and a half feet, in that range. So from the outside, it does look big. It's about 12 and a half feet high, and that's what really makes it look big. But it's not as big as it looks. And you come down the hallway, you have another walnut door here, sliding door, barn door style, which some really interesting locks, which is, you know, about as simple as it gets, but it is very nice. So if you want to lock your wife in the bathroom, it's very easy to do from out here. And just slide it open and into this beautiful bathroom.
This bathroom has everything that you would have in a nice high-end house. Mirror, touch on, off, with a fog feature, so if someone's taking a shower, it's heated so it doesn't fog up. We have a nice medicine cabinet over the toilet, adjustable shelving. You have your vessel sink, and storage below for towels and whatnot. There's a fan control. This is actually a heated towel rack, which is a nice feature. The toilet is a bidet, and then this beautiful stand-up shower with the wood, and these body sprays, rain shower head, flip-out seat, and really nice extra, it comes out really far. So, and for my husband, who is 6'1", he can easily fit in here, and you can see a skylight, so a lot of natural light. If you look down, you can lift up these wood tiles, and you could clean under here very easily, and there's the drain.
One other key feature within the unit is the Max Air vent. Now, it's a pretty powerful unit. It has remote control with it. What's nice about this unit is it'll suck all the air out of the entire unit. So if we have a window open on the other side and it's cooler out, you can obviously get all the air out of this thing. You can also run that unit with it closed. If you just need to circulate air within the unit, it's designed for that as well. So at an auto close, it's a pretty high-end unit. Comes with a remote. We have it installed in the bathroom because it's a great place to get rid of steam and everything else when you're showering. I use that more than I use the AC units, to be quite honest with you. Last thing that we'll show you is this floor lifts right up here, and underneath this floor is basically the energy system, the guts of the whole unit. All right, so this is the energy system. Here you got 8 24-volt battery systems, which is giving us about 57.4 kilowatt hours. There are 4 5,000 watt inverters back there, giving us 20,000 watts of inversion, and then everything else is pretty custom. This is a really custom designed system. You've got your gray water tank here, your water tanks, your black water tank is in the back. This is all conditioned. The temperature of the room here is the temperature down there. I'm also getting updates on my phone on an app about what the temperatures are above certain systems in here. So if they go below or above a certain temperature, I'm getting a warning on that as well. I'm sure you're going to get the question, or you're going to ask the question, is why would you ever spend $495,000 for a trailer? And what I can tell you is look at it a couple different ways. If you were to go out and you were going to buy a powered motorhome, you're way into that class already. You can be up into the millions. Even the smaller vans or Mercedes vans are running 250 and change. This is giving you the space and the luxury of a large motorhome, except you can still disconnect the pickup truck. So I look at it in that class, that you've got super high quality. The Hoffmans are incredibly innovative. So you're going to find some of the most advanced, if not the most advanced systems you can find in a unit, and it's going to last for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever that is. So that's where the quality really does come into play, and it is worth the money. It is a big bite, but when you come in, you actually see the quality, and I hope we did a good job showing you what some of the quality features are. You'll see where that value is within that money, and it's, from my perspective, if I was going to own a motorhome, then I got to trailer a car. This allows me to own a motorhome without the motor and bring my pickup truck with it that I can use to drive around town in. So that's why we did it.
And my take on this is a tiny house, but it's also a travel trailer. Yeah. See, most tiny homes, you could tow them, but they're not travel trailers. You can't travel around the country. People do, but it's really not made for that.
Right, right.
And I like the fact nothing's maintenance free. But this has the least amount of maintenance that I could possibly think about that could come up. And the ownership of this, the cost of ownership, even though you had a high initial investment, I'm sure if you're going to keep it for 10, 15, or 20 years, your overall cost of ownership could be less than a $500,000 Class A motorhome.
I would agree with that. I mean, the maintenance side of it is obviously there's maintenance with all these systems, but as far as the shell, the interior, the floor, the materials that are used, they're virtually maintenance-free systems for sure.
Now, Lisa, what are some of your favorite things about this? Coming from a travel trailer, transitioning over to this, what are your takeaways for something like this?
Aesthetically, it's really beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. Colors, the palette that they used here, it's got everything I'd want in a kitchen. The bathroom is nice.
This is set up to live in full time, which obviously we wouldn't be doing, but it is definitely set up for that. I think another key element for us was right now they're a niche manufacturer with a tremendous amount of experience. I mean, Matthew's experience with doing over 400 Airstreams, which is the gold standard. Their customer service level is off the charts. Their attention to detail on that is just, it's fantastic, and that's a big deal.
I know we talked off camera. Lead time for something like this was approximately 10 months, and they actually flew you out there and give you a full day of training and orientation, and then they were able to bring it out here for you. And even though they don't have dealership network nationwide, they do have affiliates they work with that if you did need service, that someone could come out for this. A lot of people are going to have questions about tow vehicles because a 14 to 15,000 pound trailer is quite heavy. What would you recommend for towing?
So they recommend a 3500 or an F350 in that range. I have an F250 that seems very capable of pulling it. We may upgrade that by the time you start adding some of your toys in it. You're right, so you're up another couple thousand pounds. This unit's 14,500 empty. So let's say we're going to be a little over 15,000 pounds, and we have what we want in it. I'm a great boat driver. I'm not sure I'm a great, huge, gigantic, heavy trailer driver. So we might upgrade just to make the driving a little bit easier on our, the sway or the wind. You're still driving a big billboard. But like anything else, I've had boats my whole life. I've had a trailer, with a little bit of practice, go slow, maybe a little bit of professional help. You get over that pretty quickly, and then you got something pretty nice.
I went on their website and looked at all the different options you get. It looks like you checked off almost every single box. But if someone was to order one of these, they're mostly all the same. It's just electronics and systems that could be upgraded. But the overall layout and aesthetics is pretty consistent through their models. And I think they only build like 25 a year.
Yeah, they build 25 of them a year, and you would think that's small. And it is. It is a small amount. But I'm going to tell you that it's a great number because after I did all my due diligence on the company, they are hyper focused on the customer. And as far as the build out is concerned, you're right. If you are in their core, which I think is their lower level, it looks exactly the same as this. The only thing you wouldn't have gotten in this would be probably the Euroloft. But the unit itself is the same. There's a few less batteries. There's a little less solar.
I think the kitchen has like the convection microwave versus the oven.
I think the bathroom's pretty much the same. Maybe some trim package different, like the walnut was an upgrade. But essentially the units are the same or with a few added features. And it's not many. It's not a lot of features. A lot of it has to do with the energy system on board is really where the big expense is, and you saw how crazy that is.
And this is great, like I mentioned, like a tiny house. So some people buy a piece of property and just to develop the land and run all the systems to it. This is like turnkey. You could just set it up on the site. It's fully self-contained. And they even have an option for a device that makes water for you.
Yeah.
Which
cool.
I didn't see you have on here, but that's pretty impressive. If you're really off the grid and you don't have a well on the property, I think it can make like 5-6 gallons a day, which might be enough.
Cool option. You know, we're not huge campers, right? So, I mean, when you're pulling a $500,000 rig, you realize we're not 10 campers. But, you know, look at the uses that we're going to use it for. We already have over 3 months worth of trips that this won't be here at our house. It's going to go up to Roscoe, New York during fishing season from April to May. We're going to leave it in a place and we're going to go back and forth a few times. It's going to go to Maine. That one will be off the grid. We do a big trip with our neighbors, which is 7 days off the grid. We're going to put it in Saratoga, New York for the racetrack. So it'll be there for 6 weeks. So our type of usage is exactly that. It's a small home that we're towing to different places that we want to stay. Maybe take down to the Keys, take it into Colorado. We're definitely going to take it up skiing. Who wants to stay in a hotel room when you can stay in your own house?
Well, very impressed. This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Brian and Lisa, thank you very much for taking the time to give us a tour today.
No problem.
You're welcome.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.